I'm suddenly lost for words. Welcome everyone to this evening. I'm gonna close my eyes and share some things with you. And then probably do a meditation and a channeling. And then afterwards, we can kind of let loose and talk. So recently can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Michael, please, can you put yourself on mute and podcast?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear you.
Thanks. So, and I feel that this is collective for the collective, and that it's very much to do with the eclipse and the energies that are. I can feel my voice changing, and very much to do with the energies on your planet right now, that are intense, extremely intense, for a selection of you. I can feel myself going into a channeling before I've said what I wanted to say. So I don't know, maybe I'll just try and talk quickly before they take me into the channeling. So recently I've been going through some, I don't know, dark night of the soul, or anattacks. Very much to do with past lives and being attacked from each past life where I was targeted by the negative agenda. And that's a very common theme for starseeds, for light workers, for starseeds, for light workers, for shamans, for healers, for psychics, for mystics, most certainly for all of us here, now and in the future, and those of us that aren't here this evening. So I was shown an image. I was in one of my favorite places a couple of days ago, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and I was shown an image by one of my Native American guides, who was showing, I was in a very bad space at the time, and they were showing me the past lives that needed to be cleared, kind of in a line or in a path. They were all lined up one after the other. There was hundreds of them. And that happened as he was talking to me, very connected to the energies that are on your planet now. And I feel like I'm on the tail end of that clearing, to do with the trauma, to do with a lot of stuff, even victimhood and victim mentality. So this is very much about you collectively taking back your power, having worked through and released much of your traumas in your past lives, including this one where you have been tracked and traced. And this is a releasing of those energies where you are not even in charge, but the negative agenda is being forced to release its hold over humanity. The negative agenda is being forced to release its hold over over humanity. We spoke before many times of the contract that has been torn up, that has been deceased, that has been let go of, that has been ended, the contracts that has been ended, that allowed the negative agenda to control you for so long. some of you are feeling this in the extreme. And Soma was making a decision whether to, because of some of this energy and how intense and overwhelming it was deciding whether she wanted to stay or not. And we have good news. She's decided to stay and continue her mission here on Earth. We are sharing some of her story, some of her experiences recently. In order to help those that are still going through this energy shift, a letting go, surrendering, healing, processing trauma, and how it is in your soul's DNA. Or memory might be a better word. Many of you are on the tail end of this energy, as she said earlier. Let us begin with a meditation so that she can go deeper. And Dennis, if you could please keep an eye on the meeting and make sure that no one joins that we don't know. Is that okay? Hello?
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Thank you. And would you start with the I am prayer?
Okay. I will do that. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so. We are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks this is done, it is so. And the third time, we are all one. When one is harmed, all are harmed. When one is helped, all are helped. Therefore, in the name of who I am, and I am one with all there is, I ask for the greatest good of all here concerned. I give thanks that this is done. It is so.
Thank you. So when you're ready, let us begin with a meditation. No. We might do things a little bit differently this evening. What we are showing Soma, we would like you to follow. If you choose to. Visualize. You're in the, thank you, you're in the center of a beautiful circle of light with a white beam of light coming down into your crown chakra from high above, maybe hundreds of feet, maybe thousands of feet, maybe a few feet. The choice is up to you of how high you want to connect to this white light, this energy of source, of us. Feel it coming into your crown chakra, going down through your central system, the middle of your body, expanding out to all of your body, down your arms and your hands and your fingers, moving its way slowly or rapidly, depending on how much you wish to absorb in intensity and quickness. Feel it down through all of your body, from your crown to your feet, running down through everything that is you. Your blood, your skin, your hair, your bones, your DNA, your organs, and going deep into the core of the earth. Thank you. Visualize a rope around your waist that has a tight knot in it, but the rope is not hurting you. The rope is comfortable around your waist. It's a very long rope with a huge anchor on the end. Huge, hundreds of feet in length. Drop it to the core of the earth. Visualize yourself laying belly on the earth, helping to anchor you and ground you into we will use the words dimension of earth, helping you to be here now. This is especially important for those of you that are so good at leaving when times get challenging. We do not mean physically leaving your bodies. Actually, we do, but we do not mean death of the physical body. We just mean that your soul leaves your body, so you are in two places at the same time, which most of us know here is possible. This evening, we would like you to visualize what we are showing Soma that we said just now, is a lane or a path in front of you. Let us start with your left-hand side, and then in front of you and to your right and behind you, and also below you and above you, where you are fully protected. There is a lane or a path in each of these directions, especially behind you. No side, thank you, no side is more important than the other, except to say that the back of you is where the negative is very good at leeching on and getting in to your energy field in order to latch on and take a free ride. So let us start with your left-hand side. There are hundreds of us here this evening. On your left, you can see Jesus. And behind him, Archangel Michael. And behind him, Lion Energy, Mother Mary, Ella, many moons. Merlin. You can see as far as your eye can reach, and even beyond what you can see, there are hundreds of us. We say us, because everyone we have mentioned is Pleiadian, has Pleiadian connection, has Pleiadian DNA, has Pleiadian past lives, has Pleiadian energy, has Pleiadian everything, Pleiadian blood. And more than that, Sirius, as well as other star nations. These energies have been working with you since you were born. And we do not mean this lifetime. We mean since your soul was born. And some of you would disagree with the birth of the soul, for some of you would say that it is eternal. We don't disagree with this. At all. So all those beings of light or animal spirit guides, you may see others that you know, you may see others that you don't know, but all of them are in the light. All of them are here to help you in this huge, great awakening of humanity that is inevitable. The new dawn will be. Many of you are going through change, letting go. You are the strongest of the strong. We have used that many terms. We have used that term many times through many of you. It is well known. It is a well-known saying that comes from us. You are the strongest of the strong. Even when you doubt yourselves, even when you are at your lowest, even when you are on the floor energetically. You came here to give birth to new earth. And it will be done. So visualize those beings of light on your left, in front of you, and on your right, and behind you. You can visualize the energy behind you stronger if you so wish, or taller in stature and height, or more intense, more light. There is wolf energy around you. There is wolf cub energy around you, bear energy at your back, eagle energy above you, frog energy, toad energy, snake energy, new beginnings, dove energy, crow energy, bird energy, dragon energy, crystal energy, organite, obsidian, squirrel, many energies working with you in each direction. Many of you have had extremely challenging times, and this is a pivotal point in your history. We do not use the word history lightly, for we know where we are. In time, for we know where we are in time. And it is not linear. Some of you, as we spoke last week, have jumped forward. Some of you experience timeline shifts. In a very physical way. Many of you have, thank you, have chosen a much more positive timeline. Use fire to burn negative energy, or release negative energy rather. Use the fire, use the sacred chants, use the medicine of the grandmothers and the grandfathers, of the Native Americans, of the wise, shaman, tribes from around the earth in different time periods. You are immortal beings, and you are able to connect with any beings or souls within any time period of your history, even your future. You are able to do all this and much more. Remember who you are. Many of you have already done that. The hold over humanity by the negative agenda is releasing. Many of you feel this. And that is really what you were speaking of this evening earlier. In different ways, using different words. But there is a shift happening right now on your earth, from dark to light, a releasing of the negative. Many would say that that has already occurred. But if that were so, then why are some of you still feeling under attack? Remnants, timelines, time shifts. Reality is not what you think it is. There are different levels, different dimensions, different realities, different perspectives, different viewpoints, different energies. What is unquestionable is that your earth is going through a major shift. Some of these energies, it would seem, have resurfaced in order to perhaps have a second attempt. But love wins. Love wins. Be gentle with yourself. We said this a few weeks ago. Soma did not realize at the time just how poignant our words would be, how important they would be. Be gentle with yourselves is an understatement for the time you're in now, which is coming to an end. Meaning to say that you are on the tailwind of this energy. And you are stepping into your own power in a new way, with more light, with more love. It is an energetic release, much like a birth, an individual birthing of new energies. And it is not even new energies, it is simply a releasing of old energies that have been, let us say, affecting you. A dark night of the soul where you have been forced to look at your shadows. Issues, situations, trauma, victimhood, denial, whatever the issues are for you. They have risen up with such intensity that it has felt overwhelming. That is not the only reason that has been overwhelming, but that is one of them, or something to consider or ponder upon. Thank you. Prophecies have been written of this time you are in. Thank you. And none of them could have prepared you. No words could have been spoken to prepare you for the energies you would face in order to create the change that is needed on your earth in the collective. That is so important, what we've just said. There are no words that could have prepared you for the energies on your planet at this time. No contract, no explanation, no sharing, no conversation, no telepathy, no intuition, no insight. We would like to say well done to you. It is the 4th month. And here we go. Perhaps it will start to make sense now. Why Soma? Why we? Kept saying the different months that would be important and why there were so many of them. It is a shift and 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 a shift. Taking you up to beyond whatever. Taking you up beyond what you have known previously. This needs to occur. Not just for your planet, not just for humanity. There are many of us coexisting. Within this universe, within this galaxy. You are not alone. You do not come from here. You feel energy. You are awake. You are aware. You are different. You stand out, whether you want to or not. You are here to create this change. You are brothers and sisters. You are united. You have the same DNA running through your blood as each other. Some of you would call yourselves starseeds. We call you us. Be gentle on yourselves. There are few times in Soma's life, perhaps 2, maybe 3, which is a big statement. When she has felt as overwhelmed as she has recently done. One of those was when she was 8, and one of those was when she was 12. For those of you who've read her book or heard her talk about these experiences will know what we are speaking of. You are the strongest of the strong, even when you do not feel it. We love you so much. You are warriors in the truest essence of the word. You are warriors. Sometimes Soma feels that people listening take our words lightly. We do not say anything lightly. Anything. Soma is not alone in her trauma. There are many of you across your planet, across your earth, that have been victim to huge trauma, many even worse than what she has experienced. She understands this. Something she does not understand is how normal people get through that kind of trauma without the help of us or spirit or guides. She does not understand that. And she actually sees those people as having more strength than she does, because she always had great support from us, from her guides, from spirit, on whatever dimension they were. She has great admiration for these souls that have got through trauma seemingly without the help of spirit. Now may be a good time for questions. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Perhaps we should take a break for 5, 10, 15.
Okay.
I can do that.
You can turn off the
Ed. Oh. So, so I don't know if this is Dennis's way of becoming public this evening. Is it?
No, don't think so.
No,
No.
but it's a good idea.
Hmm.
It's maybe something. I mean, it's very comical, but maybe something a bit more. I don't know. Realistic.
Maybe.
What about an image of a lion or something? A realistic thing.
I see. I haven't come across that in the menu yet.
Keep looking.
Hmm.
So Pontus, what were you? We were taking a break there, so I missed some of what you said, but I heard you talking about Telios, and I was very interested in that.
Yeah, Telos or Telios. I can't remember how it's spelled. I've only heard the rumors, and then John Vivanco said that they actually dedicated a session to see if they could get anything on that, but they didn't get anything. But they did see other things instead. And what is your how do you know about that?
I know very little of it. The name rings a bell, but could you explain?
Let's see if I can find anything on that, because that's all I know of that. I'm really very unfamiliar with like the culture, the beliefs around Mount Shasta outside of this. These things I've heard through their work.
Oh, Telios. Is that beneath Mount Shasta? Is that
It is said, it is said, I think, to be a fifth dimensional city of Telos, like inside of the mountain. But
okay? I do know a little bit, and so what I was shown is that beneath Mount Shasta, um, there is there are beings that live beneath Mount Shasta. That's what I've been shown. That are connected to Lemuria.
yeah, yep, that correlates. But there seems to be a huge tunnel system. And they are like they did remote you, because one of the other sessions that this same group did was they wanted to know what happened to the fellow that said that he found these giant gold statues. He found this huge long corridor, and at the end of it, or like and then this room with these big gold statues. And then he went to the town, to the closest town, and like, because he couldn't do anything with that himself. He was just one guy. So he wanted to tell someone. So he told some people that he found that, and they went back so that he could show them that. And apparently they killed him and like stuffed him in some crevice or something. And then but then they were never heard from again. So I don't know what happened there. Perhaps someone or some noticed that, when like did something, I don't know, or it was already SETA activity in these tunnels at that time, and they just were abducted or something. I have no idea, but it goes. The result of the remote viewing does fill in some gaps with that legend, because that's like a legend that this guy found these statues and was never seen again. So that's kind of all I know about like the physical part of it, and that it seems like it is being used in some kind of, or has at least been used in some kind of genetic research or something by self-serving ETs. So, but I don't know if there is something even deeper, underneath that I have no idea. I do suspect that, you know, that there are these huge underground bases, like these four or five, you know, bases, which like serves different purposes around the world. You know, one is for like kind of where you go when you fly in with your ship. You know, it's in Australia, and then there's this other one where if you need to get your ship repaired, there's that. And you know, but these strike me as like other kinds of places, more like if you remember Men in Black, the movie, you know, when they get into this, it's kind of an airport thing, but and an intergalactic airport thing. That's my impression of these kinds of places. They're like, you know, everyone is welcome, even people out of body visiting these places. So that's at least the experience of Lynn Buchanan, one of the original members of the Stargate remote viewing program that the military had. He had he had like this experience where he like went a bit further than remote viewing. He was like he was there, you know, with all of his senses at one of these bases, and saw all of these ETs, you know, and like was kind of in shock, you know. And one of them turned around, looked straight at him, and said, "You are welcome here." And then he is kind of snapped out of it, out of surprise. But these places seem different to me. But Mount Adams and Mount Shasta, well, yeah, I would like to know more if you learn more about these places. Mount Adams seems magical to me. I mean, there's so much positive contact going on there. Like, you know, I don't know if it's daily, but it's like you know, because you have Iseti Farm so close to that, their Field of Dreams, you know, where people come and interact with the ships that do like power-ups for them, and it seems like there is an energy vortex at Mount Adams that is being used to travel the universe. I've never heard of any nefarious activity in that area. So we really we have the whole spectrum.
There is Ted Marr, who does, Ted Marr, who I know, who does a lot of is very connected to Mount Shasta and does a lot of work there. And there's also the Stargate experience with what is his name? I forget his name now. Prajit Harris. I never know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Prageet Harris, who has the Stargate. It used to be called Stargate, and now it's called Stargate Experience, and has been for quite a number of years. But he does some amazing work, and he also, I met him in Galway, but he also a number of years ago, but he also does he's a channel for the Pleiadians, and he works with Cryon now. Amazing guy, yeah, amazing. He lives in Mount Shasta. And he's got a center there, I believe, and he does the Stargate, where he has these just amazing work, just amazing, and a really genuine guy, really genuine.
It's just wonderful to hear about these things. One place that has really been like a, I don't know, beacon of light, you know, in my psyche, is the Iseti. I've never been there, you know, but Iseti Ranch, not Iseti Farm. James Gilliand owns the place, and man, it just seems like a wonderful. That's why a wonderful place. That's why I have such a positive impression of the whole area. They have a web page, but my PC is like not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's buckling under the pressure.
I forgot to mention earlier that last week's channeling session, I will put it up when I have edited it, because there is some very personal stuff there that I don't really want shared publicly. So I'll probably take me a while to edit that. How are you guys? Pontus, you're talking about some really interesting stuff this evening, and but I wanted to ask you guys, how did you find the channeling, and how are you feeling with the energies at the moment and the eclipse and everything going on? How are things with you guys? Like, are you feeling what they said to be true, or are you feeling like, what's going on with you?
Yes, I could follow what you were channeling, and I found it all very interesting. I often wonder whether the slight feeling of imbalance that I get quite a lot is due to these energies, or whether it's just old age. But yes, I was very, very well, I was impressed with your channeling. I think it's along the right lines, unlike most others.
There are some really good channelers out there, Michael. You know, Cryon is one I do listen to, not very often, maybe only 2 or 3 times a year, if that. But I also quite like oh, forgive me, guys. What is the other guy called? Bashtar? Is it Bashtar?
Yeah.
Bashtar and Cryon.
Bashar.
Bashar, thank you. Thank you. But Cryon, yeah, he's and Prageet works with him now, which is great. Or he was the last time I heard of Prageet. But there are some really good channelers out there, you know.
Yeah, they don't always say the same things. That's the problem that I have. They really ought to be saying similar things, but that's not. There's Blossom Goodjar, for example. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, I like Blossom.
Yes, but she was the one who said everything was going to end in 2012, and she was quite emphatic about it.
Well, she was definitely wrong.
You know, once you do something like that, I mean, what credence can you give to them?
I think she's genuine. I love her energy. I do sometimes listen to Blossom, and I know Dennis does.
Yes.
But I think sometimes, I don't know. I think sometimes we do get stuff.
It's it's quite interesting how Blossom is so honest, and she's so human, and she doesn't hide her emotions. So after that whole incident, she was very public in saying to her guides, going, "Guys, what the hell were you doing? You know, why am I supposed to trust you?" She dealt with it very publicly with her, you know, the embarrassment and hurt that she had and how it caused problems for her.
But a lot of things did end in in 2012, but not like end like, you know, the end of the world, but you know, a lot.
Yeah. It wasn't. I'm so sorry. I hate interrupting people, but it was a shift in 2012.
Yeah.
Well, there may have been, but that's not how she put it.
Okay, I didn't hear what she'd said about that. Anyway, I'm going to put myself on mute.
We might get a chance to ask questions, and I've written a few questions down, but I realized that, you know, maybe only one or two of them might be, well, like relevant to even, you know, put energy on right now. Because you can get technical, you know. Like one question I have is about, I know we might talk about the technologies being used in a negative way at a later date. But I still wonder, you know, that might be for the future. But from my understanding, a lot of the alien machinery is in the fourth dimension, in the astral plane, and I do wonder what the status of it. You know, how has it been? Is it mapped? Have they found it all? How operational is it? Because as that dimension relates to our heart center, is a question that keeps returning to me. But it might be, you know, it might be like we might just, you know, benefit from just focusing on us, you know, here, like, you know, finding our strength, not like, you know, trying to worry about the status of that, because I think we can like feel how functional, you know, we are. So it might not be beneficial to even focus on it, you know, because I trust that although it seems like there is very serious work going on with mapping, you know, finding and dismantling that, you know, it is being done. So it might be a fear-based question even. But another question.
That's okay.
Yeah, but another question that might be more like, might serve me better, like to might be like, how can I best be supportive to someone facing their shadow selves like they have never done before, like including myself.
Oh,
I guess like being, you know, strong in what we are, you know, is a huge thing, you know, being as balanced as we can be. And because energy speaks, you know, more than words, you know, and can be like, I guess, supportive, just to have a high vibration and you know, tolerance and, you know, patience and
all of those things.
Love for this person.
Talking and listening and just being there for the person, I think, is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
I think it's huge.
Yeah, and it might be according to that person's need, of course. I mean, what they are going through, what I am going through. You know, because sometimes a conversation can be exactly what you need, but sometimes it can be something else, or like seeing how someone else is acting. You know, there is power in that. How someone else is handling something. Because it feels like a lot of people are facing a lot in themselves, like everywhere. Like I personally have friendships that come and go. You know, it's these. You know, a friend goes mad. You know, I break all contact with him, and then, you know, a few weeks later he has an epiphany. You know, and like, you know, it's very you know, considerably healed, or like at least, you know, more himself, and we are able to have a conversation again, and like just came as a complete surprise. Someone was knocking at my door. I didn't know who it was. He just went out, and bam! I just said, like, all I know is that I have a lot of love for you, and then we had like this 2-hour conversation. So I think we are all going through a lot of things, or like there is the potential to go through a lot of things. At least now the conditions are here. So yeah, that might be a better question to ask. How to find balance.
Nature.
Yeah. Yeah, I went into nature today and yesterday. Plan to do it every day. It's just like it feels like it never has felt like it feels like it always has felt, but not on a level that I've ever felt. Feels very restorative, and I mean I haven't meditated in a long time in like any disciplined way, so it's not like I'm even experiencing sitting in meditation for a long time. It's just like, but just in me, soon as I leave the town and just park my car and like just walk out into a forest, or next to a field or something, it's already happening. It's like it's just buzzing. I can't describe it really, and I guess it goes both ways. I heal nature, nature heals me, or it seems that might happen actually, because I wondered about this, like because Pleiadians said be in nature, and I asked Marianne, like, what can I do to heal nature? I want to contribute, like because I've heard that on occasion Gaia has asked for support, in the transition that she is going through, because then I can imagine that it's a thing, to go through. But like I think it's enough to just be there. Things happen if you just be there. So that's what I want to do, even if it's just for 15 minutes,
Do you take your shoes off when you do it?
Yeah, has been my goal, but it's still cold enough that's might not always feel like, but like something I wanted to do. But I have dug my hands into the wet soil while I'm sitting, and that does physically ground you in like in an equivalent way. So that works,
And would you be able to maybe get a pair of really thick socks and leave the socks on so that your feet don't get cold?
Yeah. Today it was hot enough that I could probably have taken my shoes off, but the ants were waking up as well.
Oh.
So we'll see. But yeah, physical grounding is very beneficial for inflammation and so many other things. It's like it gets our cells back to a natural state, and it's a measurable difference from like say like 2.5 volts, and you ground yourself, and you are immediately, your whole body is at 1.5 volts, and that's a bigger difference as it sounds. That I mean, and when you are at 2.5, your blood behaves differently. Your red blood cells get like this, get sticky, stick to stuff. But you don't want them to do that. You want them to be like flowing, really going out into your capillaries and stuff. But so they are like really major difference from being grounded and not being grounded physically. And then there's of course energetic grounding, So yeah, that's my plan, to go out in nature at least for a little bit every day. But I've been putting everything off, actually, for just energy work, or like, as they said, well, taking care of myself, because I've been tired. But we all have stuff to do. We need to do physical work, but I'm really prioritizing it, and that's my plan for the coming year, if I can, just to keep doing that. I'm going to go for a cup of tea.
Okay, darling. Keep doing that, Pontus. Keep doing that. I'd be very surprised. I'd be very surprised if at some point you didn't connect, or if you do connect, the connection wouldn't get stronger with the trees and the elementals in a much more physical way, where you're able to see them.
Yeah, I have had my intention is to work psychically as well, but I want to lay a foundation, because to have this very stable foundation, this balance, because I know how I am. I'm highly sensitive, and when you have that type of that type of brain, that type of intelligence, you're also on the neurotic side. It's just a property, of you. It comes with that. It's the other side of it.
I don't know what you mean.
So they feels like, and all these, the psychic development, is secondary to just having inner balance, of course. Whatever happens. But I feel that I have already been presented with the tools to have that develop. But I want the balance thing first. Meet myself. Deal with a few things before that.
Oh.
And I guess also, it's wonderful to just develop that, out of curiosity, but it would be nice to actually, that leads to something constructive, some type of work, be it retrieval work, in the astral, or, working like people work with, finding missing people, if they are, develop remote viewing, something like that. But
that can be very emotional, though, when you're working with missing persons cases, because most of us will feel the emotions and everything to do with the victim and the perpetrator. So sometimes that in itself can be very emotional, and then you've got the emotions of the family, and most missing person cases are not nice cases, often murdered,
it could be like a 5-6-year-old girl that was raped and murdered, and cut up into pieces, and you might see it from her eyes. So this is the type of work that Lynn Buchanan, who has trained a lot of remote viewers, one of the members of the original program, that's his really disclaimer on that as well. Really, you need to know what you're getting yourself into, because you might be in their body as that happens. But that we'll see how it goes. If there's a need for it, if there's something that I can do. What do we do with the psychic ability as humans? Because our ET family. They have the abilities as well, and they are very developed, and they are doing their projects, with like this super precision, these and at this scale that is like just unimaginable. So I mean, what can I do as a person, because we are so it seems we are so gifted in this way, like take remote viewing as an example, and like that is already more than a lot of ETs can do, because it's like beyond space and time, like you can just view anything. So and it's not like that, like for many of the ETs. So we have this unique
abilities.
Yeah, that we can develop, but at the same time we are human. When our brains are like ADHD, compared to these very disciplined individuals, that are working with this, non-human individuals not working with this. So like at the same time we are limited, but I know people that are doing a lot of retrieval work with great success, lead people that have been lost in the afterlife process, are stuck here, or and they help them find their way. So I guess we might be drawn to something that we can do, if we develop an ability and genuinely ask to do work. I think we will, it will come to you. You will get that opportunity. You might be tested first, but you will be presented with that opportunity. Well, that's yeah. I'm going for that cup of tea.
Oh. Would anyone like to share anything? I stopped doing the missing person cases because I found it too emotional. I kind of stopped doing it. I mean, I guess if I was asked again, I probably would. But
what did you find was the answer to them?
What did I find?
Yes, did you find the person had been murdered, or they left the country, or what?
No, most of the cases I've worked on, the person has been murdered.
Yeah.
And there's two cases that come to mind. One was, I won't mention names, but one was in Galway, and one was also in America. And the one in America was horrendous, because I could feel and I was living in Edinburgh at the time, and I was attending the Royal College of Parapsychology in Edinburgh at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I was really doing a lot of mediumship development.
Yep.
And it was an amazing place to develop. But it was there that I had a spirit come to me in the dream time when I was asleep, and she gave me her name, and and when I woke up, she was still with me. She was still there when I woke up. So I Googled her and I found out some information, and there was other things that I was shown in the dream, and then I got in touch with, I think it was around that time I started working for findme2.com, which was set up by a police detective, retired police detective in America, who set up findme2.com. I think it's still going. I think it's called something else now. But anyway, he was using psychics and mediums to help find missing people in America. So I got in touch with him and told him about this case, and they went and found her, and it was just horrific, Michael. It was horrific. She'd been chopped up by. They were both black, and he was lighter skinned than she was, and much smaller and shorter. He was quite a short guy, and he had her on this like slab of a table, almost like a massage couch, almost that type of thing. But he was just crazy, and I was experiencing all of his psychotic emotions, and he was crazy, and he chopped her up and put her into black bags and put her onto the street corner. It was, the whole thing was just horrific. It was just horrific. Anyway, so, and then there was another case that I worked on in Galway, where the guy had also been murdered. Not as extreme, I have to say, because that was an extreme case that I worked on. But yeah, I don't like doing them. I don't like doing them.
Yes, I've worked on an unsolved murder case, but I can't say, apart from getting communications from the victim, we never got any information that would have been of use to the police.
Oh.
What do you think about these cases that Pontus was talking about in America, where people regularly disappear in national parks? Have you ever done any of them?
No, I haven't.
No.
No, that'd be interesting to do, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of a
Some
light.
people say that it's wild animals that have got them.
I don't think so.
But then naturalists have said, no, they don't do that. And other people, of course, have suggested UFO abductions, which sounds outlandish. But I recall one, I've forgotten his name now, contactee in England, who relates how he went for a walk in the country, and he was regularly in contact with aliens, and the UFO landed in this field next to him at a crossroads, and they told him that he would die a painful death, but he could avoid this if he got in the saucer and went with them. Well, he decided that he wouldn't, and he declined the offer and went home again. Now, this was an actual incident. And I said, if it had been me, I'd have got in the saucer. And then that would have been somebody else who vanished mysteriously. So, you know, yes, it could happen, is my verdict on that.
I think that happens all the time. I think it's much more common than we realise.
Yeah. I mean, Pontus talked about genetic DNA experiments, and abductees have confirmed this. So, but the rather alarming, abductees, of course, come back and tell us. But what's alarming is Pontus is saying, "Oh, they want the DNA, so people disappear and they're never seen again. So they're presumably being experimented on and presumably killed. So I find this all rather alarming."
I was quite I had an adjustment period to all of this, let's say. I think the documentary that kind of, made me realize the scale of it, is Missing 411. I think it's called that.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. Yes.
Yeah, and it just like confirmed what I've already heard, not on that scale, but I've heard here and there. But I guess if you're a genetic match for something that they are seeking, they might take you. If you're not a genetic match at all, then they might have no interest at all.
Yes, I think you're right there. Yes.
In the case of Carl Landers, they got that he was still alive, and I mean he was abducted in '95, and this session was done a few years ago. So I mean that's that's a long time. Yes. So and then my question is, alive in what state? Is he just being strung up somewhere? Like that they keep taking samples from him. It didn't. The session didn't go any deeper.
Yeah.
Than that. So I have no idea, but I wish there is mercy for him if that is the case, that he at least is not conscious of that, that he has left his body or something. But I really have no idea. I just stay clear from like Zeta or Orion group like activity, because we think what we are just being here and just holding a frequency is important enough to not be out. Let yourself be outplayed by some negative ET. That would be a shame. So I just take the long way around.
Yes.
But Sasquatch is interesting, but and you can pinpoint like different groups, the activities of different groups, going by testimony to different areas. So like if you want to meet a group that is, seem like to have a positive attitude towards humans and like even actively seek interaction, you can go to certain areas. So that's usually more in the south, Florida, California, or like up to Washington as well, like because there's this great forest there. I think they appreciate them because you have the Sasquatch phenomenon is global. You have different names for it in different
yes
parts of the world. But the ones living in the north and like in Russia and stuff, they seem, according to testimony, they are larger and they are like mean. Like they're not they're not really looking to chat. You might get this huge rock land at your feet. So and if you don't listen, slightly bigger rock. And if you don't take the hint, most people do take the hint. And the thing with Sasquatch is that, I mean, you have millions and millions of Americans that have like that would say that they have seen them. It's just that you have this divide, and I think it's a pretty it's a good example of this kind of psychological divide or something. I don't know how to express it, like of the times that we live in, because you have these camps, you're either open to the unknown, or you're like, no, that's just completely impossible. That's just like you're obviously crazy. And this divide can happen within a family, or within a group of friends, because some might have had an experience, and it has become such a common thing in the States, going back for so many years. Farmers just going out to the barn and like suddenly, boo, and they're scared by this apparently obviously intelligent ape-like being that had an interest in their cattle, or it's just like, and then the stigma prevents people from telling anyone, or like or like at least going public, because what do you have to gain really in that climate, like in the what yeah. Some do speak out, for like feels in many ways similar to someone having an UFO experience or an abduction experience, that you will go mad. Like it's just too much just to have that bottled up. So you see these people say like, I want nothing to do with this. I did not ask for this. This has just ruined my life, but still they are saying it because, I mean, for me, that's telling of our nature. We have such drive to 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 to, to be authentic, like, or to speak about what we feel is important and credible. Like. So it's like, leave me alone. Like, I want nothing from this. Just like, because they might have said that they had a UFO experience and they can't unsay it.
Yes.
All right, Soma. All right. I am eating already, actually. Let's see.
Yes, it's getting on, and I shall have to go to see to my wife, but it has been very, very interesting this evening, and I'm especially grateful to Pontus, who's given me, well, I won't say a new insight. I agree with a lot of what he said, and I have found it all very interesting, and the channeling. So I'm glad to see that Dennis is back as a human being. But with that, I'll say good night to you and hope to see you next week.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I hope things work out with the telephone switch or internet switch thing.
Well, haven't got that.
And that you and that
weeks, I'm told.
And that your wife's health also
well, yes,
is.
It's not very good. She can't really walk very well at all because of arthritis, and she had a fall last week, which didn't help. But
Yeah.
we have to. A friend took her to the high street for an appointment this morning, which is about 300 yards as the crow flies. But I walked, but they were digging up the high street as usual, and I did all my shopping and went to the shop where she was going to have her eyes looked at, and we both arrived at the same time. I said, "What on earth have you been doing?" But the traffic was so bad. There you go. So anyway, we carry on as best we can.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what we do. We seem to be going forwards.
Well, I hope so. Sometimes I think we're going backwards.
But sometimes you need to go back a step,
Yes.
Well, take care of yourself. See you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm working tomorrow, and my circadian rhythm is not really well. I'm up all night. Um, I've been like that since I was like 16 years old. I don't think I am that like that naturally. But so as soon as like, I don't work a lot. So when when I do, it's like, oh, how will I ever go to sleep? So that's my mission now, to get myself sleepy.
Okay. So
Um,
I'll thanks for tonight.
yeah,
And
thank you, really. It felt like there is like a convergence point
yes.
now, and
Yes.
like they are, as they said, they are many, um, and there's probably a lot more to say, but like I feel like, you know, uh, there will come a time for all of that. So I feel very supported, and it's thanks to you, really. That it's no small thing, um, to have well, this group, um, and our family, as I call them, here, like so close,
I feel the,
so
I feel the same.
yeah,
I feel the same.
yeah.
But I'm gonna let you guys get some sleep. And I don't know if Dennis is there or not, but I just I really need to go and have a coffee. And hello.
Coffee and sleep. That's
Yeah.
yeah.